finance and conspiracy theories and everything in between. And if you're new to the channel, guys, go ahead and subscribe, like, share, and check out my Patreon, guys. Support my channel. Helps me grow. Now let's get into it today. So I have an article I pulled up for you guys. The middle class is shrinking. That's both a good news and bad news, guys. So key points to take away from this article. The share of Americans who are considered middle class has shrunk since the 1970s. Just 51% of Americans are middle class now compared to 61% in 1971. Many more Americans have become upper class, but inequality has worsened. So the takeaway from that right there is essentially that people are moving up the ladder of, success and becoming upper class, but also not enough people are going into the middle class. So you have people that were in the middle class going into upper class, but people that were like low income, they're not going into the middle class. So middle class is shrinking, guys. So that's what I wanted to show you guys in this article right here. The key points. Now let's watch a video I have pulled up for you guys today.
Between 1979 to 2024, productivity in the U.S. soared by 80.9%, while hourly pay grew by just 29.4% during the same period.
The paychecks of typical workers have not grown nearly as fast as overall economic growth over the past 4 years.
In June 2024, two-thirds of middle-income households believed that their income was falling behind the cost of living.
Yeah, guys, because it is. People's incomes are shrinking, and they're not keeping, or at least feel like they're shrinking because they're not keeping up with inflation, guys. The true inflation that's happened over the last 4 to 5 years, this is no matter whatever administration you're talking about, has gone up, guys. So it's like 2, 3, 4, percent, on the record. But year after year, but really it's been more like 20, 30%, guys. If you look at housing, you look at food, you look at, automobiles, you look at a lot of items, look at what they cost in, let's just say 2018, and then look at what they cost now, guys. Like everything's gone up across the board. So it just makes a lot of sense that, people are feeling like they are, more poorer because they are. I mean, people's livelihood has shrink away because of inflation. Inflation is the hidden tax at the end of the day, guys. So, and if people can't find other means to replace that income, of course they're going to feel poorer and, have to take a second or third job out, guys. So.
I think that many Americans feel a financial struggle because their household budget and their household balance sheets are facing so much pressure.
Every time I check my local mom group on Facebook, I see requests or people asking where they can get some financial assistance to pay utilities or assistance with rent. And it's concerning because these people are working full-time jobs and they just can't make things work right now.
Yeah, you're seeing it more and more, guys. Like, I know a lot of people that are having to work, a second job. A second, practically full-time job, guys. Like, their main job and then their second job is in the nights, or it's almost full time, if not. And people are having to do that, guys, because they just can't afford to live. I mean, the cost of living has gone through the roof for everything. And not to mention, good, stable employment has gotten harder to find and maintain. So people are not able to hang on. So they have to go get a second job. They have to go do something else. That's just where we are in the economy right now, guys. And, so.
Wage trends, wage suppression, I mean, it just could not be more central to what has happened to the middle class over the past couple of decades.
So what exactly is keeping the middle class from earning a higher paycheck?
I think people think inflation is a policy problem, but wages are my problem. And it turns out wages are not just your problem. Wages are entirely a policy and political variable.
The main goal of policymakers...
Guys, the problem is that when your income is not growing, but the inflation is rampant across the board, you're going to start seeing things like we are seeing now where people just can't survive. They're working 2-3 jobs. You've got, both people, both, if it's like a couple, they're both working full time plus part time just to make ends meet. I mean, you got foreclosures at an epic, rate right now. You have, car repos skyrocketing right now. You have people going through the unemployment line. You've got people that are, on food stamps, like crazy right now, like hitting record numbers. Like people just don't have the money anymore like they had, and it's because the cost of living coupled with the fact that wages are not increasing. So when wages aren't increasing and they're just stagnant, but inflation's through the roof, then you're gonna have a society that's struggling to hang on, and that's what's happening. So it'd be one thing if like everyone's income went up with inflation, so then no one would really feel, the the impact of the inflation crisis, but that's not what's happening, guys, at all. In fact, people are like their wages are either stagnant or they're shrinking or they're just not employed anymore, which is again another problem that people are suffering from. So I'm actually done with this video from CNBC. Let's go over here. I have a video on TikTok pulled up for you guys. So the middle class is officially gone, says this guy. Let's watch.
You look back to 1980 to 2000 to today, you can see the major problem that we're having. The writing's on the wall. Here's the average housing prices: 47K, 120, 420, 13% interest rate in 1980, then 8% in 2000, 8% today. 600 out the door payment a month, $1,200, $3,700. But here's the problem. Back in 1980, what do you think you needed to qualify for this home? $18,000 in income, but yet the median.
Real quick, do you see that right there, guys? So the 1980. So this is right. The numbers he's showing you here are numbers that you needed. It shows the year, and then it has the number you needed to actually qualify, right? So he's gonna show. He's gonna let him explain the rest, and then I'll pause it.
Income was $21,000. That makes sense. The average American could buy the average house. In 2000, 20 years later, same thing. 38K to qualify, 42,000 median household income. Makes sense. Then today, this is the problem. $120,000 in salary to qualify, and yet the median household income is $81,000. They cannot qualify, so people are forced to rent.
Yeah, and that's the problem, and that's what a lot of people have actually said in the media, that we're going to become a renter nation by 2030. We're in 2024, right? Right now, we're the end of 2024. I do not see a change in these numbers. If not, it's probably going to get worse, guys, honestly. And so what he's saying, if you look, 1980, right? The average house was $47,000. You needed $18,000 to qualify. Okay. Now in 2000, the average house was $120,000, and you needed 38,000 to qualify. Okay. Now in 2023, I'm sure the number's worse now, but the average house is $420,000, and to qualify, you need to make $120,000. Most Americans, most households don't even make that. Most households don't even make 100. I don't even think most households even make 80,000 a year. I think the last number I saw, it was like the average household was like 71 or 72,000 a year. That's with like, with two people working with combined incomes. So a lot of people how are people going to qualify? And even going forward in 2030, like fast forwarding, we already know inflation is going to continue to go up. So like, how are people even going to qualify? Let's finish the video real quick.
At prices in 1980, you could rent for $308, which was only 17% of your income. In 2000, if you didn't want to buy, you could rent for $600, 17% of your income. Well, today, people don't have a choice. There are 100 million people right now in this country that are forced to rent. which is 29.6% of their income. So many families can't afford to buy, and they're being forced to pay these high rent prices, and that's why they're feeling the pressure. We are witnessing, this year will go down in history as the year the middle class has finally disappeared. So we need to...
Wow, guys. You see that right there? Coupled with the cost to buy a house, right? Now you have the rent crisis as well. 1980, average rent was $308. In 2000, average rent was $600. In 2023, the average rent was $2,000. So people are getting wiped out, dude. Like, people are getting wiped out with the cost of living. It's crazy. So we're going to finish on an article right here, guys. This is from finance.yahoo.com. Article's titled, "The Middle Class is Dead. Social media users claim $174,000 per year is not doing well. It's just the bare minimum needed to survive." An Instagram reel by a man named Jim Garfield has racked up over 450,000 likes and offers an eye-opening look at how much the definition of the middle class has changed from 1983 to 2024. You guys ready for this? In the video, Garfield compares salaries, saying making $30,000 a year in 1983 is the equivalent to making $164,000 a year in 2023-2024. The middle class isn't dying. The middle class is dead. Guys, that's wild, because that's what I'm trying to tell you guys. That's what I'm covering. Like, people just don't have the money anymore. So in saying that the middle class is shrinking, the middle class is dying, it is already. It is non-existent anymore, guys. So let me know what you guys think in the comments. I'd appreciate if you guys could subscribe, like, and share this video. I try to bring news to you guys every week, whether it's a conspiracy theory, it's finance, or something in between, guys. Go ahead, check out my Patreon. Please subscribe, support my channel if you can. It allows me to be able to pump out 2 to 3 videos a week for you guys. So on that note, guys, I will talk to y'all later, okay? Peace out.